Solana's price is up over 30% just over the last 3 to 4 days, and we are seeing something happening right now that we have been waiting for months. And so with that said, we're not going to waste any more time at all, and we're going to get into today's quick video. So looking at Solana here, what we can see is that its price has finally made the confirmation that we've been looking for, that it has now broken out of this descending structure. You guys know that over the last year, we have been stuck within this descending structure, putting in these points of resistance and consistently getting rejected by 30 to 40, even 50% back to the downside. But last week I told you, listen, watch this very closely. Look for the breakout of this trend line, and if it happens, give it a couple days, let's get through the weekend, and if we are capable of doing so, we can say that this thing has been confirmed. Now, some people will say, well, that's not really a big deal, but it is. Let me explain why. Typically speaking, whenever you are at a bottom of a macro downtrend, you will see descending structure get formed. So as we can see here, we have a macro downtrend and you have descending structure, and that descending structure is usually the indication that the bottom of this macro structure is being formed. Let me use Bitcoin as an example real quick so you can see what I mean. As you can see, let's go ahead and let's just go back to the last bear market. Let's go all the way back here. What we can see is that, of course, things were looking decent. We had a downtrend, we had a little bit of sideways consolidation, and then a fall here. But something happened that changed everything right around here. And what you can see is that as we did put in the bottom of this massive bear market that we have been in, of course, what we can see is that, look, we got rejection right here, rejection there, rejection there, rejection there. We got a fake out to the downside, but we had macro descending structure. And the moment that we broke out of it, back tested it, and held it as support, we went into the next bull market. And look at Solana now. Look at the similarities here. What you can see is that if we just do go ahead and correct this chart a bit, you can see it's very similar, right? We had, as I mentioned before, that macro downtrend, which was then followed by this descending structure with the fake out to the downside, with the breakout to the upside, which very well could indicate or implicate that we are going to go into some type of more macro move to the upside over the long term. Maybe not right now, but going in towards 2024, obviously this is well within the realm of possibilities. And so because of this, obviously this breakout to the upside could be absolutely massive, but we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, so let me give you a new update. So now that we have gotten out of this descending structure, now that it does seem as if we're in the clear, we're probably not going to end up back down in it unless something absolutely catastrophic happens. We need to still take this with a bit of caution. What I will say is that I am going to start purchasing some more Solana at this given point. You guys know that I had been talking in my Patreon a substantial amount over the last few weeks and doing some dollar cost averaging on Solana with my other cryptos, throwing $200 in here, obviously $240 in here. It was 10% of my DCA back in June. It was 10% of my DCA back in May. And those dollar cost averages were multiple thousands of dollars. So obviously, I have been aping into Solana to some degree, and I am going to up that a bit. I am going to start adding on the amount that I am purchasing, because now we don't have this massive level of resistance sitting directly above us. So first update is that I am going to start upping my purchase volume at this given point. Okay. Now, what comes next though, right? That's kind of the question. What comes next for Solana now that we have finally broken through this descending structure? Well, personally speaking, I do believe that it is about time for us to see some type of cool down or pullback relatively soon. Now, at what given point does that happen? I'm not sure. Maybe we get rejected off $38 before that. And so obviously there still could be some room to the upside, which is the reason why I am still purchasing and I am still dollar cost averaging, but I wouldn't be opening up any leverage long trades at this given point, because again, it does feel as if this pullback is on the way. Now, the reason being is because we have seen the full sequence play out on our daily chart prime oscillator, which never fails to predict when a pullback is on the way. When you see these 4 indicators, maybe even 5 indicators flashing at once, it always predicts correctly when some type of pullback is approaching. Maybe not exactly when, but when it's approaching. So obviously I'm being cautious of this. What we can see here is that on this, again, daily chart prime oscillator, we have this overbought reading, which are these yellow boxes in the OB that printed here. As you can see, we also have the red reversal triangle, which indicates that some type of reversal is on the way. We have a blue peak finder, which is an indicator that, hey, listen, we're probably going to find a peak and momentum is slowly starting to shift towards the bearish side. We had bearish divergence playing out as we did get this breakout to the upside, which just said, hey, although we did get this breakout, don't get too far ahead of yourself because a pullback is probably going to happen at some given point. And then finally, of course, we do have this bearish momentum dot printing here. So as you can see here, we have not only 1, but 2, 3, 4, 5 different bearish indicators all flashing right now. Okay. And so with that in mind, I start to say, hey, look, we're probably in a position in which we're going to see some type of pullback. Now, where do we pull back to? Obviously, no one knows. I would say that it would make a lot of sense for us to come back all the way down to retest this descending trend line, but that is a pretty substantial fall from here, right? That is a fall of, 26 to 27%. Not 100% sure that is going to happen, but it is on the table and it is possible. Hell, we saw that with Bitcoin. Look, again, at the bottom of this bear market back here, like we had just recently spoke about. Let's go all the way back down. Sorry about that. What you can see is, look, we got the breakout here. Let me just get rid of this line so you can see what I mean. We got this breakout here. As we did get the breakout, we got all the way up here, but we pulled all the way back down. And look what happened. When we got to this peak, what did we get? Overbought reading, red reversal triangle, bearish divergence, bearish momentum dot. The blue peak finder didn't miss it, but it was a little bit too early. But we got all of these indicators, and then we got the pullback to the descending structure. Okay, so it's not out of the ordinary for crypto to do something of this nature. And so with that in mind, my main purpose and point of today's video is to say, listen, you don't need to be in a rush. Likelihood is we're going to get some type of cool down. Again, we could get to 38 and then cool down from there. But again, the likelihood is we are going to see a cool down. And in the next cool down is when I'm going to be doing the most of my buying over the last few months. Okay, so with that said, guys, do be prepared. It is seemingly likely that we will get some type of pullback relatively soon, so just be prepared for it. I do believe it is a good opportunity to start buying some Solana when that does happen, when this daily chart prime oscillator does start to correct itself, and of course I will update you as that does happen. Now, again, all of my purchases I do put over here in the Patreon. We did revamp it and restart it basically last week, so you can get access to a lot of stuff right now, master classes, trading classes, all that. Check it out, my portfolios, all that stuff. So check it out. Let me know what you think. But at the end of the day, my main focus here is Solana, and I will continue to update you as this does play out. Now, tomorrow I am going to make an updated video on Solana because at that given point, we should have the weekly close. I do expect that the weekly close will obviously be above this trend line, but I am looking to see if it is going to get the weekly close above this $26.28 level. If that is the case, we could be in a position to actually hold this a little bit and then look for continuation. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel so tomorrow I can update you as we do get that weekly close and what I'm expecting as a result of it. Okay, so that's it for today's quick video. Just wanted to let you know, listen, we did get the breakout. It is confirmed. We are looking good for long-term continuation. So I am going to continue buying in on my Solana and increasing my volume and rate of purchase here with Solana, but I am being cautious because it does seem as if some type of pullback is on the way. So as I mentioned before, do subscribe to the channel because tomorrow I'm going to post another update. So I hope to see you all there. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing Sunday, and I'll see you next time. Peace.